comes to you, she says she's pregnant with a girl, and she wants to terminate the life of the child because it's a girl. What would you say to her?
My position has been very clear. The Liberal Party is the party of standing up for people's rights, and the Liberal Party will always be the party of the Charter. So we will continue to stand up for people's rights and not legislate them away.
So to be clear, you wouldn't discourage her from having an abortion because it's a girl?
My role as a leader of the Liberal Party is to make sure that Canadian legislation respects people's rights, and that's what I will continue to do.
But yesterday you said you're happy with the status quo on abortion, but right now the status quo is that it's perfectly fine to abort a child because it's a girl. Do you have no problems with that?
I will leave discussions like that between a woman and the health professionals that she encounters. I don't think that government should be in the business of legislating away people's rights, and that's why the Liberal Party is steadfast in this position.
I'm not trying to be rude to Justin Trudeau. I've only met the guy once. He seemed a very nice fellow. But I just get the impression, you can disagree with people, but I get the impression he's not very bright. He doesn't, you see him listening to the questions, and I don't think it's below stage one. Gendercide, I don't believe he actually knows what you're talking about. I don't think he understands the reality.
Maybe that's the problem.
Well, I mean, I'm sorry, that's the feeling I get. I mean, I've met people who support abortion and say, yeah, you're right, and I don't care. It's absolutely a woman's right. I've met other people who are pro-choice who are terribly uncomfortable with this. They really struggle with it. But I don't believe he's gone beyond the mere cosmetic answer of charter, right, charter, vote Liberal.
And, since we're on the subject of Obama, Donald Trump is merely fulfilling the promises of both Barack Obama and Bill Clinton to secure the borders, kick out the criminal aliens, stop the flow of illegals,
and we heard Obama say the border and our immigration laws are broken, and everybody knows it. Obama said that.
And we have that video evidence on tape at the PP Simmons YouTube channel, youtube.com/ppsimmons.
All Americans, not only in the states most heavily affected, but in every place in this country, are rightly disturbed by the large numbers of illegal aliens entering our country. The jobs they hold might otherwise be held by citizens or legal immigrants. The public service they use impose burdens on our taxpayers. That's why our administration has moved aggressively to secure our borders more by hiring a record number of new border guards, by deporting twice as many criminal aliens as ever before, by cracking down on illegal hiring, by barring welfare benefits to illegal aliens. In the budget I will present to you, we will try to do more to speed the deportation of illegal aliens who are arrested for crimes, to better identify illegal aliens in the workplace as recommended by the commission headed by former Congresswoman Barbara Jordan. We are a nation of immigrants, but we are also a nation of laws.
Even as we are a nation of immigrants, we're also a nation of laws. Undocumented workers broke our immigration laws, and I believe that they must be held accountable, especially those who may be dangerous. When I took office, I committed to fixing this broken immigration system, and I began by doing what I could to secure our borders. But today, our immigration system is broken, and everybody knows it. There are actions I have the legal authority to take as president. Tonight, I'm announcing those actions. We'll build on our progress at the border with additional resources for our law enforcement personnel so that they can stem the flow of illegal crossings and speed the return of those who do cross over. If you're a criminal, you'll be deported. If you plan to enter the U.S. illegally, your chances of getting caught and sent back just went up. We expect people who live in this country to play by the rules. We expect that those who cut the line will not be unfairly rewarded. The actions I'm taking are not only lawful, they're the kinds of actions taken by every single Republican president and every single Democratic president for the past half century. And to those members of Congress who question my authority to make our immigration system work better, or question the wisdom of me acting where Congress has failed, I have one answer. Pass a bill.
But immediately following his announcement by Donald Trump, Communist Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, son of Fidel Castro's best friend Pierre Elliott Trudeau, announced that Canada would take these poor, desperate, rejected immigrants into Canada, thereby saving them from the big bad meanie in the big bad Oval Office.
Yeah, Mike, you're going to have to move out of Canada, brother.
I don't know. Listen, it's only going to get worse from here. The Canadian Prime Minister also said, this is the epitome of gall here. The Canadian Prime Minister also said that he intends on talking to Mr. Trump about the success of the refugee and immigration policy in Canada.
Yeah.
He's going to lecture your president. You know, there was a guy, I wish I could remember their names, and I could send that to you later, but there was a Canadian Prime Minister who did lecture a U.S. president. And when he finally was allowed to visit that president, he was nailed against the wall, and he was lifted up by the shirt collars by that president. I wish I knew who that was, but Canada has no business lecturing the American people, especially after all of this, the terror attacks on U.S. soil.
Okay,
I mean,
but wait a minute. You made an allegation about a prime minister that was jacked up against the wall by an American president.
Right.
That really happened.
That happened. I have done that research. I don't have those names in front of me, but I can get those to you.
Oh yeah, please do. I mean, that's interesting. But so we'll take your word for it, and then if you can back that up with a link or something, we'll post it. But if you can't, you can at least tell us. But anyway, keep going.
The very next day, in gun-free Canada, a man whose alleged social networking profile reportedly shows him as an avid Trump supporter allegedly walked into a mosque in Quebec City, Quebec, and allegedly opened fire with an AK-47, killing 6 people, injuring several others. That happened the next day.
We consider the event like an act of terrorism, and we can confirm that we have 6 persons pronounced dead, and 8 persons is in hospital with minor or severe injuries.
There were also several reports of him shouting Allahu Akbar as he was shooting, but these reports were quickly scrubbed and replaced with the Trump supporter Islamophobia narrative. Right?
Yeah.
So this all stinks.
Now, originally the police arrested 2 suspects, Alexander Bissonnette and Mohammed Balkadir. Witnesses did report that Balkadir ran from the police when they did arrive, and that one of the men did shout Allah Akbar. The media ran with this information, but by Monday afternoon, the narrative had changed. Justin Trudeau's Liberals have been micromanaging this narrative, even going as far as to send a letter to Fox News accusing them of falsifying information about the identity of the suspect. Meanwhile, Fox News just tweeted that one of the suspects was Moroccan, and at the time, that was true. But the Liberal PR team insisted that Fox News delete this tweet. Not update it, not edit it, but erase it, delete it altogether, just send it down the Orwellian memory hole. Talk about overreach. Since when does the Prime Minister of Canada start telling people to delete stories? Especially from reporters who are from foreign countries. Meanwhile, the Canadian corporate state media deleted any post with any kind of mention of a Muslim suspect. And then the CBC put out an editorial blaming white male Christians. Could you imagine if they put out a piece after the Paris bombings blaming all brown-skinned Muslims? But unfortunately, folks, this censorship gets even worse. Montreal police have just arrested a man for online hate speech targeting Muslims. Now, of course, he didn't make any death threats or anything of the kind. He was merely venting his rage about a very real and serious problem of Islam's influence in the West. But that's the narrative being formed here. And now the Montreal police have hired 55 people to monitor social media right now for more hate speech. Folks, this is getting real.
But listen to this, though. A series of shootings occurred October 22nd, 2014. This is a shocking story. This was only a little over 2 years ago at Parliament Hill in Ontario. At the Canadian National War Memorial, Michael Zehaf Bibo fatally shot Corporal Nathan Cirillo, a Canadian soldier on ceremonial sentry duty. So even the Canadian soldiers on sentry duty, they're disarmed. They have fake guns with no ammo in them. Then he entered a nearby Centre Block Parliament building where members of the Parliament of Canada were attending caucuses. So he's going in there, he's going to shoot up the place, right? After wrestling with a constable at the entrance, Bebo ran inside and had a shootout with parliamentary security personnel. So he goes in there where all the politicians are. These guys are protected, right? These guys are surrounded by men with guns because they're politicians. They're better than every other Canadian, right?
Right.
Now listen, what happened next? This terrorist was shot 31 times by 6 officers and died at the scene. The attacker was a 32-year-old Canadian habitual offender and drug addict from Montreal, considered by several acquaintances to have mental issues. He had been observed by acquaintances at his mosque, exhibiting erratic behavior. He had a Libyan Canadian father and had converted to Islam 10 years prior, and he had just visited Libya. So don't tell me we don't have an Islamic terrorist problem in Canada. We absolutely do.
And so what you're saying, well, the Liberals in Canada are going to really ratchet up your problem because Trump is being a man in America. And so the Liberals in Canada, the Liberal leaders are saying, well, you poor little Muslims, come up here with us. And so you're saying that when the poor little Muslims pile into Canada, then Canada is going to be in for a world of hurt, as they already have been, right?
Exactly. I got a feeling things are about to get a lot worse here in Canada. But there are Trump-type conservatives waiting in the wings here.
Okay, good. Here's what we're going to do.